Hey, what do you get when you cross a fish and an elephant? Swimming trunks! Ah, this is titled Inequalities with Addition and Subtraction. So this is just like the last lesson we did where we looked at inequalities, but we're kind of adding this addition and subtraction component. And that you can see in your I can statement. I can solve inequalities with addition and subtraction by using the same method as solving equations. Notice the same. So this is going to be a super, I hope, easy video. But there are some concepts I want to make sure that we're clear on as we go through this. Here's a rule. Solving inequalities is the exact same process as solving equations. You're going to see that in just a second. And I want to make sure that you're really clear on what an inequality is. So an inequality it's a way in which we express how something is not equal. So for example, I can express that, if I can get my pen to come on, I can express that 2 is not equal to 5. And I'm not just saying it's not equal to 5, I'm saying it's less than 5. If I wanted to say 2 was not equal to 5, I could use this little symbol here where my computer's doing weird things, where it's an equal sign with a line through it. And I could say, okay, 2 is not equal to 5. But if I wanted to say 2 is less than 5, that's when it becomes an inequality. All right, here we go. So here's an example. It says solve the inequality and then graph your solution. Exact same method as equations. What's going on to x? Do the opposite. Okay, we're adding 4 to x, so we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. These 4's cancel, so now I have x is less than 5 because 9 minus 4 is 5. Let me draw the line here. Okay, so that was all there is to it. It's that simple. I subtracted 4 from both sides, have this new inequality, now I graph it. Don't forget the rules for using open or closed circles. This has got to be an open circle because it can't be equal to 5. So if I put 5 here, let's see, I'll put 4 here and 3 here, and I'm going to stop after I do 6 because I don't feel like going nuts with this. Maybe I'll change my color here. I would do an open circle on 5, and then I would draw my line, which should indicate which direction on this graph is a solution. So I've got to be less than 5, so I'm going to draw a line showing that I am less than 5 with little arrows here showing that it goes on to infinity. Okay, let's do 2 more, then we're done. So in this case, same thing, but I'm subtracting 3, so I have to add 3 to both sides. We're going to do the opposite. Okay, I'm going to draw the line. So m, because these cancel out, is greater than or equal to 11. So now we just set ourselves up with a solution. But remember, we need to use a closed circle here because it's greater than or equal to. So here, let's make this 10 and this 11, and I'll make this 12. And I'm not going to bother scaling the whole thing because that would be a waste of your time because you know that I want your solutions to be done neatly. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line real quick. Greater than 11, so I'm going to start my line right here at 11 and go forward with it. Okay, that works. But I forgot to do my circle, so make sure in this case it's a solid circle because it can be 11, and then I'm going to put arrows on the end showing it goes on into infinity. So m is greater than or equal to 11, hence the closed circle. All right, one more, this one with a decimal. So same exact thing. I'm going to have to add 5.2 to both sides of this equation, or I'm sorry, this inequality, should have said equation, to cancel these out because I did the opposite. So y is less than or equal to negative 9 plus 5.2. So I know my answer is going to be negative because the 9 is larger than 5.2, but I know I'm going to also have to do subtraction to figure out what it is. So this is, different signs subtract. So this goes to an 8 because I'm borrowing, and I line up my place values. Okay, 3.8. So when I have a decimal, there's a few different things you could do. You could scale it in tenths, or you could just, make your, I'm going to kind of be a little slightly lazier, I guess, and I'm going to kind of eyeball it, okay? So y is less than or equal to 3.8. 3.8 would be right about there. I got to use a closed circle because it could be equal to. And then I've got to show less than. And remember, I want your line straight, so you're using a ruler with these, okay? So my less than line, and it's a little crooked, but oh well. And with a little arrow on the top, okay, to show that it goes on into infinity. So notice with this one, I'm going to actually label 3.8 here because I want to make sure that everybody that looks at this knows I'm, putting a point at 3.8. That's fine, if you want to scale it in whole numbers and just kind of eyeball where 3.8 would be. That's fine as long as it's accurate. And guys, that's all there is to this. It's just like the last video, but you have that one extra step. All right, guys, here's your number clue. It's 3 more than a prime number. Good luck. I know you're going to do great.